Hey, welcome. Trying out something new today with the background music in the intro, so hopefully that worked out smooth. But welcome to another live stream. Today, I'm going to be trying out some Svelte. It's been on my radar for a while. I've tried some small projects here and there, but I figured I'd actually do a real stream, pull up some code and dive into it and try to learn some stuff. So thank you all for tuning in today. Welcome in the chat. Feel free to chime in where you're tuning in from. We've even got some popcorn today on this April Fool's Day. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know how the level of the audio is in the background too. Hopefully it's not too loud and you can hear me all right. This is a new feature actually in StreamYard, which is what I'm using to stream. So pretty neat. I like it. So yeah, let's talk about what I want to cover in the stream today. So what is Svelte? Svelte is a new take on building web applications. I think that's the best way I can sum it up. It has strong opinions, and those opinions might be different than what many of the folks who've been watching my channel in the past have seen, whether it's React content or Next.js content or other content I make. But it's still rooted in the same idea of making really great web applications. And on my channel, or actually not on my channel, on the Vercel YouTube channel, I did an interview with Rich Harris, the creator of Svelte, a couple months ago. It's pretty interesting if you want to learn more about the origin. Rich now works at Vercel on Svelte full time. And I got a lot of really good context about Svelte, about SvelteKit, and it's made me very interested to do some streams and to try some stuff out as well. And also on my team, Steph, just put her Twitter on banner. She has been working on a beginner SvelteKit course, which I'm very excited about. I've been helping review and watch some of the content, but I am not a Svelte expert. I am far from that. I'm definitely a beginner. I've read some of the docs. I've seen some code, but I have been a React developer since 2015, really. So some of my mental models for how I think about building, I'm sure will overlap and match up with Svelte. And I'm sure that others maybe are a little bit different. Like I know, for example, a big one is reactivity, which we'll get into in a little bit. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone tuning in. The audio sounds good. I'd love to hear it. I think it'll be better when I'm staring at the docs. You can at least have a little bit of little background music in there. South coast of the UK. Yeah, maybe I'll do a stream and have Rich join sometime. I think that'd be fun. I'm sure I could learn a lot from him. Hello, hello, hello. And yeah, we can talk about React versus Svelte a little bit towards the end of the stream as well too. What are we doing here? That is a great question. We're gonna do some Svelte coding. So what I'm gonna do is just jump right into it. And then as you have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. And I'll kind of periodically stop and pull some questions up, and we can talk through things as we learn and we grow together with our Svelte journey. So let's do that. I will open up my other window here. And okay. So first things first, inside Excalidraw, I was just thinking about some ideas here. Basically, what I want to do today is I want to start from scratch and just build a brand new Svelte project out of nothing. I want to learn a little bit about nested layouts. It's something I've been particularly interested in SvelteKit's design. I want to learn about page endpoints, which is a relatively new addition to SvelteKit. And also maybe we'll dive into environment variables a little bit here. Question mark, question mark, question mark. AKA, I would love to hear in the chat what you want to see me build. We're just gonna wing it. We're going to see what happens. And then finally, maybe we'll actually deploy this thing out to Vercel. And that's my plan. That's what we're gonna learn about. Specifically, you're gonna see my extremely high quality mockup here. I was thinking about, okay, what type of application would be interesting that could use nested layouts as well as page endpoints? And really, it's something with a sidebar that would give us different layouts depending on the type of content that we're looking at. So maybe if we look at posts, we see something that looks like a blog. Maybe if we look at photos, we'll show a grid of photos. And to-dos, something different. This should allow us to explore a couple of these different options. And to actually get that data, I was just quickly looking around. I remembered the JSON placeholder website, which gives you posts, images, to-dos, and basically it just gives you back an API like this. So I think that could be a good way for us to actually make a fetch to some external place, get some data and put it on the screen. So let's roll with that. Might as well. So I have the docs open here, and I also have my editor open. Let me just pull up the terminal here, because the first step is to go to kit.svelte.dev, and we're going to start from complete scratch. So I'll zoom in a little bit here. Oh, I think I clicked on something. There we go. So first things first, npm init svelte at next my app. So we're going to use this tool to scaffold out an application. I'll just call this SvelteKit stream. This is beta software. Expect bugs and missing features. Hear the dragons. We're going with it. We'll start with the demo app just so there's more code for us to look around at. We'll just keep it simple, no TypeScript, ESLint, prettier testing. We'll get started with something easy. So cd into SvelteKit stream, npm install. Okay. Interesting that. So I'm thinking out loud here as I do this versus my norm of with Next.js. In the Next.js create next app, it actually installs the deps during the create next app process. I think there's pros and cons to that. The pro is that it's one less command to type out, but given that they have this kind of scaffolding setup here that allows you to pick different things, you can't as easily just auto install those deps. So it's kind of interesting. It's like a separate step. I like this CLI. So we're in our folder. We've installed our packages. We can do npm run dev open and actually start this thing up. Wow, that was pretty fast. This uses Vite, I believe, for local development with SvelteKit to do your fast dev server startup and fast edits. So it's on localhost 3000. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that server for now. Since I already have this cloned locally, what I'll do is I'm just going to open this in my editor here. I'll close this old one here, and we'll do left first 2/3. Perfect. And then I'll actually pull up my in editor terminal as well here. So let's explore this file system a little bit and kind of see what we're working with here. Let's see, did I still have this? Yeah. I'll restart that local dev server so we just have this running locally here. Okay, so try editing source routes index.svelte. Let's start there. Source routes index.svelte. So for my Next.js peoples who are tuning in, this is the equivalent of the pages folder in Next.js. So pages/index.js. So this is the entry point into our application. So I see we have an image here with picture source set. Let's try changing this. Hello world. Hello stream. Hit save. Instant updates. Oh, it's fast. It feels like Next.js, which I'm used to, which is nice. You know, I can hit save, I get my hot module reloading, or as Next.js calls it, fast refresh, pretty smooth. So let's look at like the ergonomics of what we're working with in this file. We have some Svelte specific stuff, but a lot of it looks like just HTML. And we have some co-located styles in here as well too. So it looks like I feel like this is relatively new since the last time I looked, but a declarative way to kind of set the meta tags inside of your head. So I could change this from home to SvelteKit, hit save, open up my page, and actually, let me just close this down here. Go up to the head, and I should see a title tag of SvelteKit here in our Chrome DevTools. So that's a declarative way to kind of set the meta tags here. We have this script, the script tag at the top that's allowing us to import components. And then we're also saying that we're pre-rendering this page. Interesting. Okay. We have some HTML, and then we actually are using this component that we imported, as well as some styles here. Okay. So let's go back to our little to-do list here. The first thing I want to learn about, and the first thing that I want to talk about, is nested layouts. This is something that I've been very curious about, and I see that there is a __ layout file here in my editor on the left, but I don't know a ton about it. So I might need to reference the docs. Let's see. Oh, nested layouts. Cool. So I'll have the docs open. Let's pull up __ layout. So inside of this file, I have some HTML to define a layout, some styles, and then I have a slot. And this slot, it appears, is where the contents, or if I use React terms, the children are getting rendered. So this layout is wrapping both the index and the about routes. So if you notice, I have the same header on both pages. So if I were to remove this or just comment this out, it makes a lot of sense. About, I don't have the header. Home, I don't have the header. And then if I were to add, a p tag in here inside of this HTML that it returns, save, we see our header again, and then we see test, which is on both the about and the home page. So conceptually, I think nested layouts, or layouts at least at the top level, like this root layout that surrounds our entire application, that seems to make sense. So let's actually go down to something a bit more bare bones here. We'll just delete all the styles. We'll keep the section. We'll keep an H1. Oops. We'll keep an H1, and we'll say this is index. Maybe we'll do posts here. This is going to be our blog post page. We don't need this component that we're importing, so we can hit save. We should remove all of that stuff. But you'll notice that we still have all this other stuff from the layout. So I think we can probably just get rid of all of this for now, just to really simplify things. Maybe we'll add it in later. Yeah, let's just delete it. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Now we're talking. Now we have a basic application. We're going to work backwards. It's kind of nice for me sometimes to start from something that has a little bit more code and then slowly work my way back, rather than just like completely starting from scratch. And that's what I like about like a create Svelte app, or knitting a new app here. Yeah, the theme here, I believe, is one dark. Yeah, I think that's the theme. It's nice. I mean, I really don't mind it. I switch themes quite a bit, I feel like. I was just starting to grasp the basics of React. Yeah, what's interesting for me is based on my limited knowledge of Svelte so far, a lot of the concepts are moving over and making sense, but I know there are some that are quite a bit different. Interesting to have the concept of layout inside of the routes. Yeah, this is definitely something we're thinking about in terms of the Next.js angle here, but I like it. I think it's really cool. And thank you. I appreciate this comment, giving us gems on how to learn and grow. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to do and help y'all code. So Aura theme is really good too. I might have to check that out. Okay, so going back to the code, we have our layout, we have our index route with posts, and then we had an about route too. It looks like there's some other stuff going on here. I don't need any of that. So let me just copy paste all the index into the about, and we'll make this photos, and I'll leave that for now. So going back to Excalidraw, what I want here is a bar on the left that is a fixed layout, and then inside the right, I want to have different layouts. So really this posts, photos, to-dos will be part of my root layout. And then the other content inside of here could be nested layouts. I think that makes sense conceptually in my head. So let's see, inside main, we have the slot. So we might have, for example, this section on the left, I mean, I guess this is really a nav if we think about it. And inside of here, we're going to have some list items. We might add some classes in there. And each one of these items is going to, oh, do you see that? My GitHub Copilot. It's coming in clutch. Please write the code for me. I can't do it. So this will be just the index route, which will do posts. Yep. And we'll just, we'll duplicate this 3 times. We're going to have photos and what was it? To-dos. Cool. And then this we'll put inside. I think I guess I'm not sure exactly with semantic HTML if nav should be inside of main. My guess is no, like it would be at the same level. Should nav element be inside main? Nav should not be inside it if it's the navigation for your entire site. Makes sense. So I'll keep the slot inside main, move the nav out. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I wonder if there's a way for me to put some like global, I mean, by the way, that reload was really fast. I wonder if there's a way for me to, yeah, maybe I'll just target .nav. Well, it's not GitHub Copilot. I'm just gonna like see if, whoa, look at all these styles. What is this? What the? Oh my gosh. You're kidding me. Hover styles? Okay. Oh, that's so amazing. Okay, we'll roll with that. You know, the rest of the stream, I'm just going to use AI generated code. I don't trust my own code. So we'll roll with that. Okay, so on posts, let's actually fetch some data. So this is on the index route. And this is where we're going to start talking about, well, do I want to get into a nested layout first, or do I want to fetch some data? I feel like let's get some data on the page. Oh, nice. Command K works in the Svelte docs. So I can search for endpoints, page endpoints. So for a page, you can export this request handler function that corresponds to HTTP methods. Okay. So not only can we use this to fetch data for a page, it runs on the server, so we can also use this as kind of a standalone API, it sounds like. So I wonder if to-dos already has this inside here. It kind of looks like it does, because we got index.svelte, which is like the HTML for our file. And then index.js, it looks like we have, yeah, it looks like we have this page endpoint. So not only do we have the get, we have a post. Oh, redirects to a patch. We got a lot of, oh, it's got every single different type inside here. So we're going to want to do something like this, but for, now this is a good question. Would I have a index.js that maps to the index.svelte route? And that is that the page endpoint for my entire application? Or do I need to make a folder for index and actually put this inside of here? It might not matter. It might not matter. Let's see. I can probably just copy. I can probably just copy directly from the docs here. And then let's try index.js. So this should be the page endpoint for my index route. So it's going to fetch some data. If there's data, return that. Otherwise, 404. Okay. And then I have this JSON placeholder, which this is the page showing all of the different posts. So we don't want /post/ an individual post. We want actually the entire thing. So we could do, and another thing, I believe fetch is polyfilled inside SvelteKit. So I shouldn't need to actually do anything here. So fetch endpoint, I don't need to use any of the parameters because this is just the landing page. So fetch posts. Yeah, if posts, return posts. You can probably just do the shorthand here. So post, which actually like object, like the key of post actually is the post variable. So save. Okay. And now inside of the page, it looks like I actually am able to get that by declaring this value inside of a script tag. And we could probably confirm this by going to index.svelte of to-dos. And yeah, so inside here, we have this export let to-dos. We're defining this reactive variable, and that gives us access to actually use this value inside of our component. So index.svelte, export, yeah. Okay, export let posts. And then I think we go back to index.svelte. What are we doing here with that value? So we made to-dos, you know, this magic reactive variable that we can use inside of our HTML thanks to the Svelte compiler. And then here's the Svelte syntax for loops. Yep. Here's how you do kind of, instead of .map inside the JSX in your return, we're thinking React or Next.js world. Here's how you do it in Svelte world. So I should be able to go here. I have all posts. Should be able to do, oh, I think I missed the ending here. This, should be able to do that, and I can get rid of all of this. I love copy paste. So for each post, for each post as post, I don't think I need to, oh, this must be the key. Yeah, I think this is the key of the element. So post.id. I wonder if this is complaining because it's not in an element. Empty block. Oh, wait. Oh, it must have already set it up with like ESLint or something out of the box. Interesting. Oh, looks like I have some people who are already fixing my mistakes before I hit them. I appreciate you. Await post.json. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Duh. I did a fetch, but this is definitely going to... This is... Oh, wait. Was Copilot going to save me? There we go. So really, this is like the request. And then post. And then another question here was, or another comment was, I think it needs to be body post. So that must be a specific... Oh, it's probably like... I think in Next.js world here, it's like when you do get static props, you got to return the props key. I wonder if that's like the same thing here. Return body post. Also, fetch is passed into get fetch. Oh, okay. So I wonder if you need to do that to actually... Is this comment saying that you need to, Dominic, do you have to do that to get access to fetch? It's not just magically polyfilled. You have to actually destructure it inside of that object. You know what? We're going to find out. So I declared posts, all posts, iterate over each one of the posts. We'll do, just realized I didn't do like a unordered list around the list items on my nav items. For each post as post, we'll do post dot child. And yeah, that should work. Will it work? Fetch is not a function. So maybe, let's see. You're thinking of load. So it just recently, I think it just recently changed. There used to be this concept of a loader, which you could have for a page. And now we have this page endpoint, which April Fools, we're just, we're keeping it spicy here. Let's see. Am I getting anything back from this request? Let's see what it says here. See, this runs on the server, so I don't need the browser console open. Wait for it. Okay, status 200. So what about posts? Do we have something for post? Can't read properties undefined of link. So it's saying we're not getting anything back. Do I need to do application JSON header maybe? That would probably be my guess. Let's try that. Oh my gosh. Just crack me up. I think that was it. Because I definitely see real post being returned here. So I think that at least got me through hurdle number 1. I returned some posts. Let me go back to my, go back to here. Yeah, the comment in here about UL should be outside of the loop. Good call. Good call. You are absolutely right. Oh, where's my format on save? Come on, prettier. I need to set up prettier. I probably should have included that when I started the template. So I think, yeah, the error is in the component, not the endpoint for sure. So I return posts. I have post defined here. It's probably my for loop syntax. That's my guess. I probably blindly copy pasted and it was bad. what do I search here? Loops. And this might be in like, this probably isn't in the SvelteKit docs. It's probably in the Svelte docs. Is there a Command K here? There's no Command K here yet. Each. For each expression as name, for each item in items. It seems fine. Yeah, good thought in here. Debugging. Maybe log out posts on the component. Like, are we actually getting back the right information here? So inside of here, I can probably do, well, I guess I don't need to do it in actual HTML. I can do it up inside the script. I think that's what you're saying. Do a browser side log posts. No? I think export let props should be an ignorable. Oh, this is it. This is definitely it. Yep. I'm pretty sure that that's it. I didn't even notice that that's what I was doing. That's what I get for copy pasting. Let's see. Oh. Hey! There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is what I like to call group therapy, group debugging. You know, we're working through this together. We're learning together. Yeah, we have two people here who, or I'm sure more than two, but who knows Svelte and SvelteKit much better than me. Appreciate everyone giving feedback here. So let's just do a quick recap on where we're at. Let's do a quick recap of page endpoints. So index.svelte, this is the HTML, the markup for this page. Boom. We have a bunch of posts that these need to get turned into links, but we'll do that. Then at the top of the file, we have a script that's declaring this reactive variable posts that makes it available inside the markup so that we can do a loop and loop out over the different posts. And then index.js is the page endpoint where we're fetching from some external API. In this instance, it's just placeholder JSON data. We're going to do a get, fetch back some JSON, grab that JSON, and then if we get something back, actually forward that or make that available to our page. Otherwise, do a 404. Now, I think what we can do, if I remember correctly, is you can actually access this API. Well, I just want to say API route because that's my Next.js terminology, but it is an API technically. So I think what you can do is, let me search for, oh wait, I'm already on it, page endpoints. I could either hit this route directly with a method of get, I believe. Yeah, or I can actually navigate directly to, oh yeah, if I hit it with application JSON, I can actually get the data, or I can go to /_ data. So let's try that. Okay, so this is essentially the API route, or the page, the terminology. This is the page endpoint for my index route that's fetching back the post data. And this is what is being consumed by the index route. So now that we have this, what I want to explore is I should be able to change the layout just for the posts and have something completely different on photos, which, by the way, I have no photos. So I'll just rename about to photos. Wow. It's really nice that it reloads when I rename the files. I feel like that was really smooth. It feels very buttery. So I have photos, and what I could do with posts is maybe I want to do something a little bit different here. And this is where I want to explore nested layouts. So to do that, well, I'll do it on photos since it's a blank slate here. So let me make a new folder, photos. Oh, new folder, photos. And then I should be able to move this into here, rename it to index. Yeah, see, I feel like that's so smooth. I don't know if Next.js works like that. It seems like it really picked up on the file renames really fast. It's a good development experience. I like that. Just taking mental notes. So we're in this page and we want to do a little bit different layout if we have photos. So I could, I'll just copy paste this for simplicity. Should be able to make a new underscore layout dot svelte and do a completely different layout here. I don't need any global CSS. I have the slot. I probably don't. I'll just do a div for now. It's not really main. Or maybe I will do main here, and then I'll change. We have a main inside. We had section inside here, so it's not really main. This should be section, and this can be like a div or a container or something. So this is technically working. We're just not doing anything that makes it obvious. So I now have a nested layout. And on this page, maybe I want to do, let's do maybe like a border or something. So for my section, maybe we'll do, you know what we can do? We're just gonna keep rolling with the GitHub Copilot styles. It's just the lottery. I got padding. What else? What else you got for me? Oh, is that all it's gonna give? Come on. Border. I feel like there's some hotkey to like trigger GitHub Copilot to run, but I don't remember what it is. 1 pixel solid black. Perfect. Good enough, right? It demonstrates. So now I have this nested layout that has some scoped styles specifically for photos. And I have this place where I'm going to drop in some photos. If I go back to posts, I shouldn't see this border. Got it. Okay. So that makes sense. So the file system is defining my layout structure here. I have a root layout, which is the navigation items. I have a nested layout on photos that's giving me this border. And then I also have my index route, my page endpoint that's actually fetching back some data here. So this is making a lot of sense. Let's see. We have nested layouts. We have page endpoints. We are currently at the question mark part of the stream. So one thing I was thinking about that could be interesting. I guess I could do the same thing for to-dos as well as I wanted, if I wanted. But I saw Addy tweet out this thing about picture perfect images with the modern image element. And it was talking about how there's been some really good additions to the image component that give you better performance, remove CLS, better loading performance, all that good stuff. And a lot of this is being baked into browsers directly. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll find some code snippets in here that I can kind of check out and try some of these new methods. So what do we got here? There was like priority hints or some new one. There was the picture and source sets that actually the create SvelteKit template included, but then what else? I think this is what. No, not placeholders. Yeah, there's lazy loading built in, async decoding, which I don't know a ton about the async decoding, to be honest. Is async decoding the blur placeholder? Let's find out. Let's give it a shot. Does photos actually give me back a URL of photos. It does. Okay, so there's only one way to find out, is to actually to do this thing. So we have photos, we have a layout, we have index. Let's copy paste this page endpoint, index.js. So we have photos. Yep. Get. Whoops. No, I don't want to search photos. I just Command D to highlight multiple here. So this should give me photos as a value. And then if I go back to here, I can copy this script to expose the reactive variable, not inside the module context. One. Photos, perfect. And then I can iterate over the photos. So I should be able to get rid of all this. Boom, photos, iterate over photos as photo. And is there an ID? There is an ID. Okay, so we've made it to here. Now we're going to need to actually use an image tag. So if I go back to, let's see, if I go back to here, refresh, I guess I don't even need to refresh because Vite's doing that for me. Okay, so I have my photos, nested layout, my page endpoint, it's fetching photos, and I'm logging on the titles just so I can kind of see what we're looking at here. But let's try to use some of this fun, fancy stuff. So I'll start here. I'll just start with this. So and no prettier is like going back to the dark ages. The source, or sorry, the alt tag will be the title. Probably should have kept, yeah, just kept this open. Do I have, okay, so the title is the alt tag. The source is the URL. We have an ID, loading lazy. We'll do fixed width and height to prevent layout shift. What other fancy stuff we got in here? What was the decoding async? Oh, I think this is the blurred placeholders, but you have to have a base64 URL. And I guess I could probably do a different source set if I had, I guess if I really want to get fancy here, technically it looks like there was a thumbnail URL. It's probably a smaller quality version that I could do for like a lower resolution here. Oh, wow. Amazing photos we have here. These are beautiful, but I mean, technically it's kind of working. And it does look like if I reload, there's no layout shift. The spacing is being maintained. So that's nice. And oh my gosh, there's so many here. Actually, it's kind of impressive that like loading lazy plus SvelteKit, like how I can scroll through here. And I mean, I do have a relatively nice machine, but still, that's pretty buttery. Okay. Yeah. I have one more step for profit. I like that. Yeah, Copilot kind of lost some of its inspiration for styling there. And yes, I am using a Chrome extension. There's like a JSON formatter extension, such that if you just do any JSON output as an API, it like makes it a little easier to read. I prefer that. It's just a nice little thing here. Other questions in the chat. How would you do the active indicator in the nav? Good question. So how would I say, hey, photos is active here. I want to do an underline or something. What we got here? router. SvelteKit includes a client-side router that intercepts navigation. I don't think that's it, because it sounds like you would be wanting to use that for... Wait, what did I just search for? Active, I think. Ah. Okay, invalidate causes the currently active page to rerun. No, I don't think that's it. There's probably some param that gets forwarded to a page that allows you to know. Like maybe you look at the, let's see. It's probably in page endpoints, maybe. Like inside the script, you get access to the query parameters. I don't know. My quick searching of the docs is not coming up with anything yet, but I feel like that's something that is definitely possible. People smarter than me probably know that. Maybe you have access to the path name. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Thanks for joining. Import page from app stores. Okay, let's see if I can. App stores. Oh, we're onto something here. Stores are contextual. You can add this context to your component. You can get the session and page that are unique to each request on the server. Okay. So the page is a readable store that contains information about the page. So you'll need to use this value like Svelte store. Got it. Very interesting. So it sounds like this is the special sauce for actually getting that done. Okay. Next thing, I'm going to actually deploy this thing out. And if you have questions about Svelte or just general Q&A, feel free to throw them in the chat while I go through the Git process here and talk through actually getting this thing out and deployed. But yeah, curious to hear any questions you have about Svelte or what I've covered so far. So I have a new repo here that I created. I'll just open up my terminal here. I have this new repo, push from an existing repository from the command line. So I will add this remote origin. Oh, no Git repo yet. Boom. Git init. Git add all. First commit. Boom. Main branch. Boom. Remote add. Boom. Git push origin. Boom. That pushes all our code up. Oh wait, I deleted it. SvelteKit live stream. This is a public repo as well too. If you want to check out the code I've built so far, it's interesting. We've got some photos. We've got some nested layouts, some page endpoints, some good stuff. So we have this, and then inside Vercel, if I go to /new or deploy.new or however you want to access this, it picks up my SvelteKit live stream application here. And previously I had no code, so it didn't show the Svelte logo, but it detects that I'm using Svelte. I can click import, and I'll deploy this to my account. It picks SvelteKit for me. I don't need to change any settings or add any environment variables. So there should just be zero configuration to deploy my SvelteKit app out, and we'll see if it works. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed so far. Like the learning curve of picking up SvelteKit hasn't been too bad at all. Really fast build time too. I feel like that deployed very fast. So here's our deployed application in all its glory. Like we just went from 0 to deployed in about 30 seconds. So we have all of our different posts. We have our photos. Let's see this lazy loading in action. Yeah. Just amazing. I probably should use like the Unsplash API or something to get some better photos here, but it works. It demonstrates the effect. Yeah, how long did that take? 13 seconds. 13-second build. That's pretty good. it was so fast. I'm like at a loss for words. Now what do I do? Yeah, that's really neat. You know what we should do now? We can take this, take the root endpoint here. We'll go over to old web dev measure, our favorite and least favorite performance tool, and we can measure the page speed here. Or we could use Lighthouse and Incognito with no Chrome extensions, of course. But yeah, I mean, really good performance without having to do anything. The accessibility is definitely my, I probably forgot an alt tag somewhere. Oh yeah, the the list items in the nav that I didn't put inside unordered or ordered list. So basically with like out of the box, it's just helping me get really good performance by providing a really good developer experience too. So that was smooth. That was a fun little journey on trying out SvelteKit and actually going from scratch, learning about nested layouts, learning about page endpoints, and getting something deployed. With that, I will see if there's any questions, if anyone has, about SvelteKit, about Next.js, about Vercel, about what we covered today. Otherwise, we can wrap up the live stream and go back to our April Fool's Friday. And also let me know if you want me to do more Svelte content in the future. Steph is definitely the resident Svelte expert, besides Rich, of course, at Vercel. But I'm slowly learning. I'm excited for her course to help me learn a lot more about Svelte. Just even the basics of, I mean, we only just barely dived into everything that you can do. I could probably do a whole nother video learning about animations, or even more of the, I guess, just the different syntactical features of how you build a Svelte application. But the one thing that I do like about it, and this is kind of my hot take, but it feels very close to HTML, which I like. And for me, as a React developer, as somebody developing with Next.js for a long time, it's almost like a sunk cost, because I'm so familiar with React and I'm so familiar with Next.js that the programming model in my head is very set in stone. But when I look at like Steph's beginner SvelteKit course, I look at the docs, it feels more approachable for a complete beginner. Now, it's not like a complete blanket statement, because there are things about React that I really love the simplicity of. The tricky thing is that the entire bundled experience of React requires just a little bit more upfront learning to get into. And I mean, I feel like that's why a tool like Next.js exists, is to help simplify that process of getting up to speed. But I'm really impressed with SvelteKit. And I think if I was learning to code today, like I had zero knowledge of web development, like I had no idea what HTML, CSS, anything was. The thing that I liked about the jQuery of the past was, and jQuery is obviously still used by millions and millions of websites and growing more every day. But was you just slapped the link tag and you just did a $sign and you just got started going really fast. And it felt like just JavaScript, right? Like you were just in the script tag. That is an appealing part about SvelteKit for me too, is that you're in the script tag, the HTML is like right there, the co-location of everything. It's very interesting. And I know that one thing, I just saw this comment here that was interesting, is that Swix rebuilt my blog in Svelte and added a bunch of other really cool stuff. He used the design from my blog, and it was called SwixKit, I think. And I've been meaning to kind of really dive into the code there, because then it's a nice breakdown of here's a React app, here's a Svelte app, kind of similar goals and outcomes. And you can kind of put the code a little bit more side by side and figure out, okay, this is how one component handles for loops, or not component, but this is how one framework or language handles for loops is how the other one does it. Definitely a fan of your Next.js content. Thank you. Hopefully without the looping music next time. Yeah, if you were a fan of the music, cool. If not, maybe I won't do it again. Hi UI.dev tuning in. Hi Dad. The deploy was so fast, I thought it was a joke for April Fools. That's hilarious. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoys their weekend here, especially for people who are tuning in late. Always appreciate that. It's really hard to find a time zone to stream that works for everybody. There's always somebody that, unfortunately, it's at a non-ideal hour of the day. But yeah, I think that wraps up the stream today. Thanks for hanging out as I tried Svelte. Hopefully you learned something new. This will be available on my YouTube to rewatch and watch me struggle and succeed and have GitHub Copilot help me out. Feel free to DM me on Twitter if you have more suggestions on content. And otherwise, enjoy your weekend. Peace.